All right, let's be real for a second. If you spend any time online lately, you're probably completely and utterly overwhelmed by the AI hype machine. I mean, everywhere you look, someone is promising that if you just use their secret, highly specific AI tool, you'll literally be a millionaire by next Tuesday. Well, today, we are tuning out all that noise. In this explainer, we're going to look at a realistic, grounded roadmap to starting an actual online business. No get-rich-quick schemes here, just a practical, step-by-step guide to earning your very first dollars on the internet, using AI as your ultimate assistant.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a structured curriculum today that's going to take you from debunking all that hype straight through to a concrete action plan. We'll start with the AI money myth, move into some realistic AI side hustles, figure out how to find your specific niche, talk about landing that very first client, and finally, hit that crucial first $100 milestone. So, Section 1. The AI money myth, separating hype from reality. Before we get into the weeds, I want to address something right out of the gate, because you might be sitting there feeling anxious, thinking you need to be some sort of tech genius who knows how to code, or that there's a magic money button you're somehow missing out on.
Which brings us to the big question. Can one AI prompt make you rich? Absolutely not. We really need to challenge this pervasive myth that pressing a single button in an AI tool is going to magically generate $500 by tomorrow morning. Listen, if an opportunity sounds too good to be true, it for sure is. There is no secret print money button hiding on your keyboard. So the crucial point is this: AI itself is not the business. The business is solving a problem. AI is simply your workflow accelerator. Think about it. The tool isn't what people pay for. They pay for solutions. The real value, and where you actually start making a real income, comes from applying your human judgment right alongside AI to solve a very specific problem for a customer faster and better than you ever could before. Moving right along to Section 2, realistic AI side hustles. Where to start? Now that we've cleared the air on the whole magic button thing, let's outline the actual realistic business models where AI can give a beginner massive leverage without you needing massive upfront capital. The absolute easiest entry point for a beginner is freelancing. And look, in this context, it simply means taking a basic skill, combining it with AI so you can work incredibly fast, and offering it as an independent service to a client who needs a problem solved. It's really that simple.
Based on our source material, here are 10 highly approachable hustles that you could honestly start right now. As you can see, we have everything from content creation to lead generation. But here is the single most important takeaway from this list. Please do not try to do all of these. Seriously, if you try to do 10 things at once, you are just going to invent a highly efficient new form of burnout and fail at the whole shebang. Just pick one. Just one that matches your current skills and the time you actually have available.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact dynamic between man and machine. Look at the breakdown for video editing, for instance. AI handles the transcription, pulling clips, taking out pauses, basically the heavy lifting. But the human's role? That's the pacing, the storytelling, adding hooks. The AI gives you the speed, sure, but your understanding of the customer is what actually gives the final product its monetary value.
Let's move to Section 3, finding your niche, the power of specificity. We really need to talk about why generalists often fail and why specialists absolutely thrive in the freelance market.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it frames your pitch. If you walk up to a business owner and say, "Hey, I use AI to help businesses," their eyes are going to glaze over immediately. It means nothing to them. But look at that specific offer on the right. I turn existing long videos into short-form content. That describes a direct, tangible outcome. It solves a specific pain point. A potential customer instantly understands exactly what they are buying from you.
If you are feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, take a deep breath. I want you to adopt what we call the rule of one. Pick one skill, pick one niche, solve one problem for one customer. Seriously, do not try to be everything to everyone. Your marketing, your outreach, everything becomes infinitely easier when you focus entirely on singular, clear choices. Okay, Section 4, getting your first client, the $0 start. This is arguably the most critical part of this entire explainer. We are going to look at the exact mechanics of landing a paying client when you have absolutely zero experience.
Getting started with $0 doesn't mean you'll never, ever have expenses. What it means is you can learn the necessary skills, validate your business idea, and build a portfolio using free software tiers, the laptop you already own, and public learning resources before you ever spend a single dime. Your goal right now is validation. It is not buying 20 premium subscriptions just to justify a quote-unquote business expense.
Look, client acquisition can seem super daunting, but it really breaks down into these 3 totally manageable steps. You've already picked your niche.
Great. Next, create 3 sample projects. Let me repeat that. You do not need 50 pieces in some fancy professional portfolio website. 3 highly relevant, strong samples that you can easily link to in an email are more than enough to get started. And then step 3 is sending out personalized outreach.
Let's look at what that outreach should actually look like. The absolute fastest way to fail is the spam cannon approach. Mass messaging 1,000 inboxes with generic copy-paste promises. Nobody likes that. Instead, take a targeted approach. Contact just a few relevant businesses with a short message that proves you actually did your homework. Tell them what you noticed about their business, offer a specific improvement, and link to your custom sample.
As you start reaching out, keep this quote in mind. If everyone can generate 100 pieces of raw AI content in 5 minutes, that volume becomes practically worthless. The scarce resources, the things people actually care about, become attention, trust, originality, and expertise. That is what clients pay for. Your long-term strategy shouldn't be about generating more AI volume. It should be about becoming a deeply useful, trusted, and high-quality human editor. Which brings us to Section 5, the first $100 milestone, your action plan. We've reached the climax of our explainer today. We are shifting from learning all this theory to actually putting it into practice. Let's look at your concrete action plan.
We focus on the first $100 because, let's be honest, it isn't about getting rich. It is the ultimate proof of concept. Making your first $100 proves that someone out there on the internet values your work enough to actually pull out their credit card and pay you for it. Once you figure out how that one transaction works, you can repeat it, and then you can scale it.
Let's move to and see how this builds into a highly achievable 30-day roadmap. Days 1 through 3, those are just about making a decision. Choose your skill and your customer. The rest of the first week is strictly for creating those 3 free samples we talked about. Weeks 2 and 3 are dedicated entirely to your targeted outreach. And week 4, that's about delivering great work, getting feedback, and refining your process. Doing it this way turns chaotic, stressful learning into a structured, real-world business launch.
Once you hit that $100, this is how you systematically turn a small side hustle into a sustainable recurring income stream. You've gotten your first customer, so step 2 is just improving how fast and how well you deliver the work. Step 3 is creating templates and checklists so the whole thing is repeatable. And only at step 4 do you worry about scaling up and trying to make thousands. Walk before you run, right?
To summarize the core philosophy of everything we've looked at today, true value comes from focusing on your customers' pain points, not from obsessing over whatever new technology is trending on Twitter. You really need to shift your mindset. Stop asking which tool makes money and start asking which problem you can solve.
And I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. You do not need some revolutionary, world-changing idea to start an online business. People will gladly pay you just to take tedious, everyday tasks off their plate. So I challenge you, stop watching endless tutorials. What boring problem can you solve for just one person today? Go find that person, solve it, and earn your first $100.